Hello Fantasy Faithfuls and welcome to Courtland Sutton's Fantasy Snapshot for 2020.
Keenum out of the pocket, pulls the trigger, back of the end zone, it's Sutton!
In 2020, the Denver Broncos and Courtland Sutton will be facing a group of teams that last year gave up 552 fantasy points to wide receivers in PPR, 17th most in the NFL, with 13 yards per reception and 15 touchdowns on average. Breaking down his receiving, in 2018, Sutton had some of the best receiving patterns out there. That is what actually made me pay attention to him. Massive amounts of target went to the short left, while the short right was kind of neglected, something I like for fantasy. Since Flacco arrived, this has been reversed, not completely, but it's still frustrating. However, what Flacco has helped with has been Sutton's catch rate. He raised his catch rate from 34% to 69% in the short left. That is massive and one of the main reasons Sutton took a huge step forward last year. With Drew Lock looking to be starting quarterback in Denver next year, we should be very excited as he's even more accurate to the short left than Joe Flacco. Lastly, Sutton changed almost nothing in the short zones in his yards per reception. No, instead he just added about 10 yards per zone deep. That is incredible. To stay the same in 3 zones while improving that massively in the other 3 just shows how talented he is. The opponent that fits his strengths the best is the New Orleans Saints. They gave up 10.1 yards per catch, and opposing receivers had a catch rate of 80% in the short middle zone, so be sure to start him in DFS for that game. I would like to take a second to remind you to hit that like button, leave a comment what you think about this video, and subscribe to the channel. I love every interaction I have with y'all, and every little bit helps me put out even more content. Sutton's one-game floor is 6.1 points and ceiling 18 based on all the games he's playing in the league with PPR. This ranks as the 16th highest floor and 48th highest ceiling for receivers, so more stable than crazy good weeks. The likeliness of him scoring above the ceiling in booming is very high at 6.3, while his bust risk below the floor is iffy at 3.8. When the boom bust is this high, his numbers have yet to stabilize and we should expect variations. His touchdown rate was 4.8%, right below league average. Don't expect a huge rise, but we should not expect it to go lower. Based on my market share study, I have him predicted for only 116 targets and 78 receptions with Drew Lock for 16 games, Jerry Jeudy joining the ranks, and Noah Fant getting some more looks. Courtland Sutton had very high highs and some very low lows, which is not uncommon for wide receivers. He should have been started 7 weeks out of 15, which is still very good. The situation breakdown for Courtland Sutton shows that he scores a ton more points at home than he does on the road. He scores more against teams that usually don't give up a lot of points to wide receivers, but he scores way less against teams with a winning record, as his whole team struggled in those games. The ideal opponent for Sutton would have been the Jacksonville Jaguars at home, for instance. Courtland Sutton saw 19 red zone targets last year, and with those targets he scored 3 touchdowns, which is not great. With 28% of his team's red zone targets, he's not reliant on red zone targets for touchdowns, which is a good thing, but he really needs to raise the success rate up to at least 20%. The average risk of Sutton not scoring above 10 fantasy points last year was 64%. He is the start of the 4th tier of risky wide receivers with Michael Gallup, AJ Brown, and Robert Woods. Based on his current ADP of 53rd overall and all the numbers I laid out in this video, I give him a draft grade of A. There is a ton of red zone targets. I like Drew Lock and I love Sutton's receiving trends when he had any other quarterback than Flacco. 53rd overall is a perfect spot for him. Grab him and rejoice.
Sanders in motion, Keenum on 2nd and 7. Plays an air under it to the end zone, it's caught! What a catch by Sutton for the Denver touchdown!
Hello Fantasy Faithful, I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to check out more of them right here and here. In case you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat.